Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the TNA 2014 series in TEW 2020. Of course, I'm Sierra Daredevil, and we are at the first Impact after Slammiversary. If you have not watched Slammiversary, definitely go back and watch that episode. It was a crazy episode. If you haven't watched it, you should probably not watch this yet because there's going to be some spoilers from that show. But, yeah, it was a crazy show, including the announcement of the Bound for Glory series starting here in Impact, here tonight. Here on Impact is what I meant to say. But, yeah, it's going to be a crazy show, and we're going to dive right into the action with a pre-show bout that features a debut here in TNA, as the debuting Johnny Gargano picks up a victory over Garrett Bischoff in 7:24 by submission with the Gargano escape. 34 rated matchup, 36 from Gargano, who gets a great rated Rebel gimmick started, 25 from Garrett Bischoff. Both men were really off their game, which sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, Johnny Gargano gonna be working here in Impact. Kind of see what this young kid has to offer. You're gonna be seeing a few different debuts tonight, because I did go and hire some people after Slammiversary, because I'm gonna kind of expand some things. So you'll be seeing a few other debuts tonight, including the second pre-show bout of the evening, the second and other pre-show bout, I guess, which also features a debut in a loss. I thought, well, whatever. Anyway, in a terrible pre-show match, Brittany defeats the debuting Serena Deeb in 7:42 by pinfall to handspring moonsault. 40 rating for the match, 33 from Brittany, 39 from Serena Deeb, who has debuted in fan favorite gimmick that got an adequate rating. Brittany was really off her game. That's a great sign so far that we've had 3 people off their game in the pre-show. Great sign so far. But Serena Deeb brought in to kind of help flesh out the Knockouts division. Kind of quickly realized that my Knockouts division was a little thinner than I'd like it to be. Now, it wasn't completely thin. I mean, obviously we have a lot of talent in our Knockouts division that I don't use on a consistent basis, but I kind of wanted to expand it just a little bit because I have some plans in the near future, and I kind of need it a little bit bigger. So Serena Deeb brought in to Impact, to TNA, that is, and we'll have to see what kind of what kind of stuff she can end up getting into here in TNA, what kind of see what she ends up doing here in this company. We move on to the start of Impact itself in front of 6,096 people at the Hestan Stadium in Arkansas. We open up with a 61 rated segment as Team Dixie come out to the ring, and they are just celebrating the success. Magnus is still the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. Mickie James is the TNA Knockouts Champion. And Samoa Joe has apparently shaken hands with Magnus. Apparently not sure what's going on with that. Magnus grabs the mic and he says, last Sunday night was one hell of a night. Yours truly, still, like I told you all, I didn't need help. I'm still the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. Bully Ray could not get it done against me. There's no stopping Magnus, and there's no stopping this group that I have put together. Dixie kind of shoots a little bit of a confused look there, but whatever. Magnus goes that now on top of that, my wife, I'm pretty sure they're married at this point. My wife, Mickie James, is the TNA Knockouts Champion, and the two of us will run roughshod here in TNA as the power couple of this company. He says he knows that social media has been blowing up well, what passed for social media in 2014 anyway. He says, the internet has been blowing up. Everybody wants to know, why did Samoa Joe shake the hand of Magnus? Why is Samoa Joe, who has been going after Magnus for weeks now, suddenly on the side of Magnus? Magnus goes, it was simple. It was a plan all along. It was always a plan all along for Samoa Joe to come to my side. But we had to do things the right way. We had to make everybody believe that Samoa Joe didn't like me. We had to do everything possible to make the so-called good guys of this company believe that Joe was on their side. So we waited, and we bided our time. And then Joe decided to go after Jeff Hardy. All part of the plan, of course. And Joe beat down Jeff Hardy. And Joe made Jeff Hardy suffer. And Jeff Hardy suddenly found himself not only out of the title picture, but in all sorts of pain after Slammiversary because Samoa Joe choked him out. And AJ Styles is still picking the tacks out of his back thanks to my monster Abyss. And now, Bully Ray, he's been defeated. There's no one left for Magnus. There was no one left to challenge me. Those were your top three people, your top three good guys in this company, and they all were beaten down and defeated after Slammiversary. There's nothing left. So Joe shook my hand at the end of Slammiversary because the plan came to fruition. And now, think about it, TNA. I am the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. The number one contender for the TNA World's Heavyweight Championship is Samoa Joe. Now, Joe's not going to challenge me for this title anytime soon. It's not going to happen. Joe instead is going to stand in the way of anybody else. Because at this point, I don't need to face anybody else. I've defeated Jeff Hardy. I've defeated Bully Ray. I even technically defeated Samoa Joe. I've defeated anyone and everyone who has come for the TNA World's Heavyweight Championship. And now I'll let Joe wreak havoc around here. And I'll stand by and watch as he destroys this company while I'm still your TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. And that's when we hear the music of Jeff Hardy as Hardy and Bully Ray come out together. And, both with mics. Joe and Abyss kind of get ready looking for a fight there. Jeff Hardy gets on mic and says, you know what? Props where props are due. If that was your plan all along, we admit it. We fell for it. We fell for the plan. We are the ones that look like fools. I was defeated by Joe at Slammiversary. Bully was defeated by Magnus at Slammiversary, even though he was attacked before the match. But you know what? We lost. But if you think for a second, for even a millisecond, that we're going to stand by and let you just have the power and have control of TNA like that, you're sadly mistaken. Because just because Samoa Joe is the number one contender for the World's Heavyweight Championship does not mean that somebody still can't challenge for the title. Nor does it mean that somebody can't challenge for that number one contendership from Samoa Joe. And Magnus is like, well, Jeff, it's not going to be you. You were defeated by Samoa Joe. Why would you get a shot at the title or a shot at the number one contendership? And Bully goes to start talking, and Magnus is like, no, you lost the title match as well. Why in the world would you get a title shot? And Bully's like, you know what, Magnus, shut your mouth. The only reason you were able to defeat me is because your new lackey there, Joe, attacked me backstage before the match at Slammiversary, which is now where we, officially are told that Bully Ray was the one that Samoa Joe was the one that attacked Bully Ray. And he says, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care about whatever stupid plan you had in motion. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I care about tonight is punching your teeth down your throat. So me and Jeff here, we're going to make it our way to the ring here in the main event tonight. We're challenging any three of your stupid little group to a 6-man tag team match up here tonight. And unless you guys are all cowards, you're going to show up and you're going to get your teeth punched down get your teeth punched down your throat, basically. And at the end of the day, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship will be leaving your little group there by hook or by crook, no matter who gets the job done. So, there you go. Crowd goes crazy as Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy leave, making a challenge for the main event tonight. Any three members of Team Dixie to take on Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray. Supposedly a 3-2 handicap match. They didn't really reveal that they had a third person on their side. So, not sure what's happening there, but we'll have to see what ends up happening with that. After that, we get MVP and Eric Bischoff backstage, and they reveal the field for Bound for Glory, for the Bound for Glory series, which actually I gotta switch over to this really quick because I just realized that I don't have something set up there. Okay, so they reveal the field for the Bound for Glory series. Now, the way this is happening this year is that the Bound for Glory series is happening. There are 12 wrestlers that's a part of the Bound for Glory series. Between now and No Surrender, which is the September pay-per-view, so the next 3 months, there will just be a bunch of matches. There will be the same amount of matches for every wrestler, but there will be a bunch of matches. Some will be singles matches, some will be tag team matches, some will be triple threat, so on and so forth. At No Surrender, the top 4 people with points, let me rephrase that there. The top 4 wrestlers in the standings, based off of points, will have a mini tournament that night. The top seed versus the number 4 seed, 3 seed versus the 2 seed. And then the winner will face off in that night. The winner of the Bound for Glory series gets a shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Bound for Glory. Now, matches are going to happen. There's not really going to be any specifics behind it. They're going to be happening on Impact and possibly even some on Explosion. If they do happen on Explosion, I will show you the show that day so that way you can see that match happened. Essentially, kind of breaks down like the real life one did. Submission victory gets you 5 points. Pinfall gets you 3 points. A disqualification or countout victory gets you 1 point. And if you are DQ'd or intentionally counted out, you lose 3 points. So there you go. Now, as for the field is Chris Sabin, as was announced at Slammiversary, Johnny Impact, Bobby Lashley, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Homicide, Ethan Carter III, Hernandez, Paul London, James Storm, Sonata, and AJ Styles. So that is the field for the Bound for Glory series this year. Looks to be a pretty good field there. Team Dixie does have a representative in EC3 in there. And technically Dixie has a second representative because she's been managing Bobby Roode recently. Bobby Roode and James Storm are both in this, so Beer Money could be eventually fighting each other. Bobby Lashley and Homicide are in this. They've been having issues recently. There's just a lot of potential craziness in there. So I haven't decided the exact number of matches yet. I'm still working out the specifics on how I'm going to lay everything out over the next few months, but it will be set up where every wrestler ends up fighting every other wrestler at some point, whether that be in a singles match, whether it be in a tag match, whatever. Every wrestler will end up having fought every other wrestler by the end of the series. So there you go. Nice, interesting setup for the Bound for Glory series this year. And on top of that, they announced that there are 2 matches happening here tonight for the Bound for Glory series. What those 2 matches are yet, we're going to wait and see. But Bound for Glory series is going to be kicking off here tonight. We get our X Division champion, Jay Lethal, coming out to the ring, and he talks about Kenny King and the match at Slammiversary, the battle that he had there where he says that King gave it whatever he could, but at the end of the day, Jay Lethal is still your X Division champion. And he says he's feeling like he's in a giving mood tonight. He says that he is in a giving mood and he wants to go ahead and offer anybody to come out and get a shot at the X Division championship here tonight. And that gets answered by none other than they debuting Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs is here in TNA now, and he is going to answer the challenge from Jay Lethal here tonight. Gets 42, not bad. Jimmy Jacobs now has an adequate rated emo gimmick. Not bad there either. The match happens. Gets a 54. Let's go. Jacobs seemed off his game, which kind of sucks, but still. So in a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, Jay Lethal defeats Jimmy Jacobs when Jimmy Jacobs was disqualified after Brian Kendrick ran in and attacked Jay Lethal. Lethal technically makes defense number 3 of the X Division Championship. 54 rated for the match. 53 from Lethal. 39 from Jacobs. Pretty good, pretty decent matchup. Pretty decent matchup there. But the real story is that Brian Kendrick ran in and attacked the champion during this matchup. And afterwards, Kendrick beats down the champion. Of course, remember, Kendrick did get a pinfall victory over the champion in a tag team matchup before Slammiversary. So Kendrick beats down the champion. Jimmy Jacobs steps in to try to stop him, and he gets beaten down. And then Brian Kendrick grabs the X Division Championship, and he leaves. So Brian Kendrick now has possession of the X Division Championship, despite the fact that Lethal is a champion. So we'll have to see what happens with that heading forward. After that, we see Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy talking backstage ahead of their matchup. They're in the main event tonight. When MVP approaches and says, listen, I've sat back long enough and watched this battle continue to happen. And I've watched you two and now Styles just get beaten up time and time again because the numbers are constantly against you. The numbers are constantly not in your favor. So he says, you know what? I'm done with sitting back and on the sideline and watching things happen. I'm done with Dixie getting in my face and laughing about things. I decided that I'm going to actually start doing things about it as well. So tonight, I'm going to be teaming up with you in that main event. And Bully and Jeff kind of look at each other and they're like, all right, sure. So MVP, who has been having this building face turn this whole time, is he's now got a baller gimmick as his gimmick, which is a very good rating. That's awesome. But yeah, he's kind of officially turned heel with turned face with this. It's not, I mean, he was kind of already building to be in a face this whole time, but this is kind of his official face turn, because now he's like officially getting ready to step in the ring to fight off Team Dixie and do what he can about this. So tonight it's going to be any three members of Team Dixie against Bully Ray, Jeff Hardy, and MVP. After that, we get our first of 2 Bound for Glory series matches here tonight, in which Chris Sabin, in a 63 rated matchup, gets the victory over Hernandez in 8:32 by pinfall to Cradle Shock. 63 rating, like I said, 61 from Sabin, 49 from Hernandez. And that means that Chris Sabin picks himself up 3 points to start off the Bound for Glory series. Good stuff there. Nice matchup here as the two, have a match here, but Hernandez can't get it done as Chris Sabin gets the victory. After that, Madison Rayne comes out to the ring and she talks about Slammiversary, about how she had a heck of a match going with Mickie James until somebody decided to come out and cost her Knockouts championship. So she demands that Angelina Love comes out to this ring right now, because she's going to beat that bitch into the ground. Those are her specific words. So she is fired up. Beautiful people come out, and they kind of laugh this off. They're like, listen, we told you what was going to happen. We told you that we weren't done with you, and we told you that we were going to do whatever it took to make you suffer. Now you're no longer the Knockouts champion. Sucks to be you. But, if you want a piece of, if you want to fight us right now, that's fine. You can gladly take on one of us right here in the ring tonight. But we're going to continue to do this until you learn that you learn your lesson for crossing the beautiful people. So we're going to have a match right now. Madison Rayne takes on Velvet Sky, and Velvet Sky gets the victory in 9-12 by pinfall with a double knee backbreaker following interference from Brooke Tessmacher. 56 rated matchup, 54 from Madison Rayne, 43 from Velvet Sky. Apparently Brooke Tessmacher has just screwed Madison Rayne in this matchup. No idea why. Brooke Tessmacher kind of came out of nowhere and hit Madison Rayne and caused her to be staggering enough that she got hit with the double knee backbreaker from Velvet Sky. So Velvet gets a clean victory over the former the former Knockouts champion. Huge news there. After the match, the beautiful people and Brooke Tessmacher continue to attack Madison Rayne, continue beating her down until Katarina and Rosemary come running out from the back to make the save. So apparently Brooke is, we don't know if Brooke is having an issue with Madison or she's apparently with the beautiful people now. We're not sure, but something's going on here. Thankfully, Katarina and Rosemary were able to run off the beautiful people and Tessmacher, but we're going to have to tune in and find out what's going on with this in the near future, because something's happening. Something is happening indeed. After that, we get a interview from Bad Influence about what happened at Slammiversary. They're not too thrilled. And they even kind of tell Borash that. They're like, listen, we're not happy. We lost. And we're not happy about it. Everybody knows that we are the top tag team here in TNA. And the fact that we lost at Slammiversary is a goddamn joke. Who the hell could have possibly, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense as to who the hell could have possibly beaten us. The Wolves supposedly beat us. Fine. But you know what? That doesn't make them the better team. That doesn't make them the top tier tag team here in TNA. And if we have to face them again and again and again to get them to realize that, then we will. Because we are the elite tag team here in TNA. We are the top tag team here in TNA. And if anybody out there thinks otherwise, they're going to be sadly mistaken. So, Wolves, we're not done with you yet. Be prepared. And they walk off. So, pretty strong words there from Bad Influence. Then we get a quick little video, just kind of going over what happened to AJ Styles at Slammiversary. Kind of shows a little bit of the backstage stuff about the tacks being pulled out of his back and all that. As the voiceover guy kind of says that Styles will be back in the near future, that kind of thing. Just a little, I just wanted to have a quick little video highlighting what happened to Styles and all that. After that, the Wolves have a matchup here tonight against the Menagerie. Shouts out to the Menagerie. In 654, the Wolves get the victory over the Menagerie when Eddie Edwards gets Nux to submit to an Achilles lock. 69 rated matchup. Holy cow, the Wolves are on fire. 73 from Edwards, 72 from Davey Richards, 40 from Nux, 35 from the Freak. Yeah, they are having some fire stuff right now, but getting the victory in a non-title tag team matchup here tonight over the Menagerie. Two big men who they had to wear out and actually got one of them to submit. So there's that. After the match, Bad Influence come out, and they say that they're not, like they just said a little bit ago, they're not done with the Wolves. So they're issuing a challenge. Whenever the Wolves want to step back into the ring with Bad Influence, let's do this thing yet again. And the Wolves don't say anything. They just kind of look up there at them and kind of look at each other. They don't really respond to it right now, but Bad Influence is throwing off the challenge for a rematch between these two tag teams. We'll have to see when, if or when that happens. After that, we get Mickie James coming out, and she is cutting a promo on the status, the state that is of the Knockouts division. She says that she is the Knockouts champion, and she is going to do what it takes to cause this division to rise up, because right now, this division is pathetic. She easily defeated the woman who has been so-called dominating the division over the last few months. She easily defeated the woman who has been the top person in this division for at least a good few months now. And right now, she doesn't see any worthy challengers. She doesn't see any worthy challengers in the Knockouts division. And then some new music hits. And out from the back comes Melina Perez. Melina Perez is here in TNA. And she has a microphone and says, she just simply says, "Be careful what you wish for, Mickie, because the past can come back to haunt you." And then she heads back to the back as Mickie is freaking out. So Melina Perez is also here in TNA now, and we're going to have to see. I mean, I would imagine it may end up leading to some sort of match between the two of them, but we'll have to see. Melina debuting a perfect body gimmick to a great rating. Perfect body is just kind of the generic term for it, really. It's basically just, hey, I know I look really good. And it's kind of, similar to her WWE stuff. I know I look really good, and everybody's going crazy kind of stuff. So yeah, Mickie James has to deal with somebody from her past now, as the two, obviously had interactions in WWE before both leaving the company, and now looks like they're crossing paths here in TNA. So we're gonna have to see what happens with that. After that, we get our second of the Bound for Glory series matches in here tonight, as Bobby Roode gets a victory over the former X Division champion Sonata in 12-19 by pinfall after using a foreign object to get the job done. Foreign object that was passed off by Dixie Carter, of course. 69 rating, nice. 66 from Roode, 49 from Sonata. And Bobby Roode, despite cheating, does get a pinfall victory, so he does get 3 points to start off the Bound for Glory series as well. So, as of right now, Chris Sabin and Bobby Roode both have 3 points. That's the start of the series so far. We'll have to see how things build out, how things continue to build out in the near future. But Bobby Roode getting a victory here tonight. After that, we get a promo from Johnny Impact. And he talks about Slammiversary, talks about Austin Aries and the fact that Aries got injured during the matchup. He said clearly that means that he is the bigger star of the two because his body, toned to perfection, would never have an injury like that happen. And he says that he's ignoring Aries for now and moving on to the Bound for Glory series, that he's going to easily win and easily go on to Bound for Glory to become the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion because he is a megastar and everybody knows that the megastar always could win, always comes out on top at the end. 57 rated segment continues, kind of goes on from there and all that stuff. As Brooke Tessmacher is with him during this promo, by the way. So, Brooke randomly showing up with Johnny Impact again. Still wondering about the story there. First, she showed up tonight to help out the beautiful people, and now, for the second time in a row, she's shown up with Johnny Impact. So, I don't know. There's something intriguing going on there that we may have to dig into further. We'll have to see. Then after that, we get to our main event in a 70 rated matchup. Abyss, EC3, and Samoa Joe representing Team Dixie defeat Bully Ray, Jeff Hardy, and MVP in 12:23 when Joe submits MVP with a Coquina clutch. 70 rated matchup there. Joe hit the 75, EC3 with a 59, Abyss with a 65, MVP with a 62, Jeff Hardy with a 72, and Bully Ray with a 67. Good main event there. But throughout the chaos towards the end there, MVP ends up having to, essentially ends up passing out to the Coquina clutch. He doesn't submit. He kind of passes out to it. So Joe chokes out another person, and we get a victory for Team Dixie. After that, Team Dixie attacks MVP, Bully Ray, and Jeff Hardy. Magnus comes running out from the back and starts on the attack as well. MVP's passed out right now, so he's not really doing much, so it's kind of more of a 4-on-2 situation. Eric Bischoff comes out from the back, and he says that he heard at the start of the show tonight about Magnus's supposed plan, his supposed great plan. He's got such a great idea for his plan, except for the fact that Magnus does not book things here in TNA. Dixie Carter does not book things here in TNA. The only people with power to book things here in TNA are MVP, who's currently unconscious right now, so he can't really book anything, and yours truly. He says that he can have all the plans in the world that he wants, Magnus can. But next week, Magnus is defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, whether he likes it or not. As for his opponent, well, Magnus, why don't you just look to your new best friend about that one? As next week, on Impact, in the main event, it will be Magnus defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Samoa Joe. And the crowd goes crazy, and Magnus is freaking out. Joe doesn't look happy. I mean, he's not going to look happy, period. But he's not really too thrilled. Magnus is freaking out, and Bischoff walks off in the back as the show ends with the idea that we're going to get Magnus and Samoa Joe next week for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Ends the show on a 68, increasing popularity in 14 regions. Pretty good. Not a great quality, not a big name or big star show this week, but there's stuff that's building, so I can't complain. Some pretty decent matches happened. Some storylines are starting up that will continue to make some of these other, once these storylines really start getting going, they will help out with some of the ratings as well. So I'll take it. I will take the 68. Pretty good stuff there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Crazy fallout from Slammiversary right there. As next week we're going to get Magnus and Samoa Joe one-on-one for the TNA World's Heavyweight Championship. We're also going to get more matches from the Bound for Glory series, as we'll have to see who all is in action. Like I said, if a match happens on Explosion, we will go over that as well. And of course, we are building up to Destination X, so we'll have to see what matches start to come into play with that, and kind of see what goes from there. It's gonna be a crazy show for sure, as we continue the path down the road to Destination X, and especially on the road to Bound for Glory. As you see, once again, kind of dominating the night. Not really much competition there when it comes to that, so kind of a thing there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. It's a little bit longer than normally, but I really wanted to go into depth with the opening promo of the show, because I'm trying to flesh out my promos a little bit more. I didn't do a great job with it as the show went on, but I'm trying to flesh them out a little bit more and try to give them a little bit more depth to them. So if it might make the matches, or might make the videos a little bit longer. If anything, I can break down the matches a lot quicker, so we can try to get through that stuff more, but we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, thank you for watching. Definitely appreciate it, and we will catch you guys next time.